In this video, we're going to show you how to complete the Northfields Guarantor Reference Form using the leading online signature solution, Docusign. You can sign your documents using Docusign on a desktop device, tablet, or smartphone, so you can sign wherever you are. You will get an email from Northfields via Docusign that will look something like this. When you go into the email, you may want to display the images, and then you can see the Northfields logo and the photo of the member of our team who has sent you this email, along with their email address, so you can easily contact them if you need any help. Below you'll find a message telling you how to get started, and then you just click View Documents. When you click View Documents, it will take you through to Docusign. To begin, you need to agree to do business electronically with Northfields Estates by clicking this button, and then click Review Documents. You can then click Start on the left-hand side of the screen to begin filling out the fields. The first box asks you for the details of the prospective tenant, so this is the person that you're acting as a guarantor for. So you fill in their details here. You'll notice that some of the boxes are red, these are mandatory, and other boxes are grey, which means that they're optional, and you don't actually have to fill in all of the grey boxes. So here again, remember you're filling out the details of the tenant for whom you're acting as guarantor, and you do need to know the address of the property that they're attempting to rent. And then the next box, you have to fill out your details. So this is your name and address, etc. And again, you can navigate by using your mouse and clicking these buttons on the left, or alternatively, you can use your tab key on the keyboard to go from one box to the other. Now with date of birth, you want to enter that as day, day, month, month, year, 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 year in that format. And most of this is quite explanatory, self-explanatory. You can just fill it in as you might expect. And you do need to provide some sort of a contact telephone number. If you've got a mobile only, then feel free to put that in this space, or a landline number if that's indeed what you have available. But we do need some way to get a hold of you, and an email address as well. And you need to fill in your NI number. I'm just going to put something in there, but you need to actually put in your correct NI number. And you need to put in the number of years and months that you've lived at your particular property. To be a guarantor, you actually have to be a property owner. So you do need to state whether you own the property with a mortgage or whether you own the property outright. Either way, you do need to attach a document to prove property ownership by clicking this button. And here you're going to browse on your computer to find either a land registry entry, or alternatively you can put on a recent mortgage statement if you do in fact have a mortgage. And I'm just going to upload an example document that I put on my desktop just to show you how it would work. But you do need to attach that document to your guarantor form. If you haven't been at your current address for 3 years or more, there is a box below which is optional in grey that you do need to fill out if you have been in your current property for less than 3 years. However, if you have been in your current property for more, then obviously these boxes here are optional. In the next section of the guarantor form, you're asked to provide the details of someone who can act as a character reference on your behalf. This is someone who's not a relative and is different from the employer who you're going to be talking about in the box that's next on the form. So you need to select first of all their title, and then enter their name, and enter their occupation, and of course their address, and postcode. You also have the option to fill in a landline telephone number, and we also need a mobile number. You also have the option to put in a fax, and of course you can put in their email address. The box below this asks for details of your current employment. You could select in full-time employment, and you notice that when I tick this button, it then requires that all the boxes below in red are filled out completely. If I were to select contracted, similarly I would need to fill out these bottom buttons. However, if I choose retired or student, these boxes do not need to be filled out because they're no longer in red. If you select self-employed or company director, the boxes below you still need to fill out, but they will be in relation to your business rather than to an employer. So, for example, in employer's name, you could put the name of your company. The contact is optional, but it may in fact be you, and the same with the job title may in fact relate to you. The address below, you'll need to put in the address of your business, etc. So you can fill in all of that information here below. And let's assume that we are self-employed and that that's the situation. You do need to provide an email address for your business. And you'd need to put in your job title. And your annual salary is very important as well. And then obviously it says time with employer, but if you were self-employed, then you would put in the amount of time that you have been self-employed. You'll notice the next page down is actually a supplementary page. So you only need to use this next page if you need a little bit more space. So previous employment details is only to be filled in if you've been with your current employer for less than 6 months. So you can see that these fields are all grey, so they're not mandatory. You only fill them in if you need to. You also have another optional box here, which is for other income. This might be for pension income, for example, so that may be relevant. And you would need to put your investment or pension income here in pounds and specify in the box below exactly what that income involves. Now this box below, the accountant's details, that is only relevant if you're self-employed, a company director, you're retired, or contracted. So if you've selected one of those options in this box above, when you get down to here, you'll be required to answer, do you have an accountant? If you select yes, you'll notice that all these boxes above will become red, meaning that you need to fill them out and give us your accountant's details. If you don't have an accountant and select no, you're prompted to attach 6 months bank statements instead of giving us all of your accountant's details. However, if you do have an accountant, then you do need to fill in these boxes below. For this example then, I've selected that I do have an accountant and I've filled out all of the details for the accountant, all the mandatory fields. The next section down relates to credit history and asks some yes or no questions. Have you ever been issued with a county court judgment? Yes or no. And are you or any intended occupants aware of any adverse credit history? And you just select the appropriate response there. In the section below declaration, it's asking for 2 things to be attached. One is your passport or driving license. Now there's a number of ways that you could attach those documents. You could either scan in your passport or driving license and attach it just by browsing as I just did there, or you can take a photograph of it using your smartphone or camera and upload it that way. You'll also need to attach down below a proof of address, which could be a recent utility bill or a council tax bill, and again you would simply attach it by browsing on your computer. And I've just selected an example document to show you exactly how to go about doing that. So you go about attaching your second document exactly as you did the first, and again I'm just going to use an example document from my desktop to show you how to upload it. Once both of those documents that are required have been attached, you then sign your document to finish. This is the interesting part about Docusign. This is the area where you decide how your signature will appear. You can choose to change how your signature appears. Maybe you sign your name slightly differently, maybe with a middle initial, for example, and you may even want to change how your initials appear. You can change the style of your signature, and I find a lot of people do choose a signature that most closely resembles their own written signature. You also have the option, if you use a tablet or other touchscreen device, to write your signature by choosing this option, and then you can adopt and sign using a more personalized signature. Or, of course, you can always adopt and sign using the pre-selected style, which we're going to do. And you see there's the signature there, and you just select confirm signing, and you've finished signing your guarantor form. Now you'll notice it takes a little bit of time just to finish off. It will prompt you after it has saved your document to ask if you would like to have an optional free Docusign account. You do not need to have an account with Docusign, but if you choose to have one, you can log into Docusign at any time and see all of the documents you've signed using Docusign in one place. So it is quite handy if you choose to use that option. You'll find when you finish signing your document, it will automatically take you to Northfields website, where you can catch up on the latest property news and also look at properties for sale or for let. You'll notice that you will get an email when that is completed, just letting you know that it has been finished. There will be a slight delay on that because Northfields member of staff does have to finish off your form by filling in the last little bits of information before it's sent on to our referencing service. We'd like to thank you for using Northfields, and we hope that you found using Docusign to complete your documents online fast and easy.